Hey, it's y'all, Yakuter. Hope you're doing well. And today we're back with some more Minecraft dungeons. And today, the thing I want to be doing is building the best armor for AFKing and just getting lots and lots of emeralds because, I got 100,000 emeralds, but I'm a little greedy with my emeralds and I just want as many as I can. So hopefully I can build a pretty good loadout. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so first off, I know there's a lot of videos like this where, they're different loadouts and whatnot. I haven't seen any of them. I'm kind of just going off of what I think would be good. So, yeah. So the armor that I think I'm going to be using is this sturdy shulker armor because mobs target me more, which I think would be pretty helpful for AFKing because mobs come to you. You get less damage taken when you're surrounded by 4 or more mobs. You can deflect enemy projectiles, so if there's skeletons and stuff, you'll be able to deflect them sometimes. And you get a little shulker, which is basically just a snowball, I'm pretty sure. And the gilded enchantment is like the final shout enchantment. It's only a tier 1, but that's still a really good enchantment to have because if you get low enough, then it's going to activate, use all your artifacts, and that could save me while I'm AFKing. Okay, so the enchants on it right now aren't the best. I don't think that burning would be that bad, but I think I either want thorns, that way if a skeleton shoots me it takes damage, and then I also want the prospector enchantment, that way if I defeat a mob they have a higher chance of dropping me emeralds. Okay, we got thorns, that's a good first step. I don't have much gold though, which is not great, but we should be alright. Oh, I got thorns again. I think I'm going to stick with the double thorns for right now because I think that could be an interesting combo because that's going to be lots of damage return. And then I think I might go for Death Barter because that should let me stay alive longer because if I'm getting all these emeralds, then, this is going to give me an extra life, and the longer I stay alive, the more emeralds I can get. So I think that's going to be the armor I'm going to use. I don't think the weapons matter as much, though I am still going to pick some, and I'm going to pick some that have the prospector enchantment. I don't know if it takes into effect if I'm not actively using the weapon, but I'm hoping if my armor kills them, it still might take into effect, so I guess we'll see. Okay, so I now have my weapons down. Each of them only have prospector on them once, which is kind of a shame. But at the same time, I don't really think it's going to do anything for me, so I'm not too worried about it. The one thing that I would be helpful if it was on my armor. One thing that I will say is if they're still updating Minecraft Dungeons, the one thing that I'd really, really, really want, and if somehow someone from Mojang or whatever is listening, which I know they're not, but one thing that would be so helpful would be a Minecraft Dungeons creative mode where you can just go in, choose any armor you want, put the enchantments on it that you want, and just kind of mess around, see what works well, because that would make this game, at least testing loadouts like I am, it would make it so much easier. It would make it so nice. I wouldn't have to waste nearly as much time, but I guess it's whatever. Anyway, I'm now going to pick out some artifacts because like I said, this armor has the final shout enchantment. And so I want some good artifacts I don't have to worry about, like, firework arrow or something like that won't go off automatically. So I'm thinking, harvester could be good. I think it ignores the limitation of souls. I think here's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to have 2 golems to help me wombo combo people while I'm chilling AFK. And then I'm going to have the totem of regeneration that will get used when I do get low. That way, I just start gaining HP back. I think I'm pretty set. I think this is a good first run. I think I'm going to go try it out, see how it does. So there is one thing that I really hope for, and it is a daily trial that has one of these modifiers is basically prospector, and it makes it really easy to get lots of emeralds from mobs. So if I'm lucky, which I'm not often, one of these daily trials might have that. Okay, sadly, it does not look like I have the daily trial. They might have removed it because it was kind of insane. It was basically, I think it just said like increased chance for mobs to drop emeralds. So if you ever see that, make sure you play it because at least when I played it, like maybe a year ago or so, maybe a little bit longer, I don't even really remember. It was insane for getting emeralds. You got them like crazy. Okay, I think what I've actually decided is that I'm going to do Soggy Swamped because the final boss on this is the Corrupt Cauldron, which constantly spawns mobs and those little slime dudes, which in theory, they should all be able to drop emeralds, which is great. I don't think difficulty has anything to do with emeralds, as far as I can tell, which means I'm going to just lower the difficulty like crazy. Honestly, I'm just going to go to maybe Apocalypse +1. Is that even a little too crazy? I mean, ideally, I'm just going to go to Apocalypse, to be honest, because ideally everything's a one-shot. Alright, so I'm at the cauldron here, so I'm going to switch back to my original loadout here. There we go. So I have about 106,000 emeralds. I'll just round up and say that I have that. I'm going to leave this for about 30 minutes and see what I get. The first 50 emeralds will obviously go towards my death barter, but if I get close to dying, then that should save me. Okay, so one thing that I do want to say real quick here is, first of all, we're not very far into the AFK, so I don't have tons of emeralds yet. One thing I do want to say though is that Prospector, I have seen it activate a couple of times, so even though I'm using it on weapons, it does still seem to activate, so that's a good thing to note, because if I have Prospector on here twice, maybe be activating a little bit more. The second thing I want to say is that Death Barter, I don't know if would be the most helpful, because these mobs do such little damage, and my armor has like protection stuff. So I don't know if Death Barter is really worth the 50 emeralds, because sure, it would help you, and if you're AFKing like overnight, then it could definitely be helpful. But in this use case, I don't really know if it would be worth it, so that's debatable. I think I'd rather have Prospector on it. I think that'd be a little bit helpful, but Double Thorns is definitely a win. Oh my goodness, I've been AFKing here for like 10 minutes, and I just realized that I didn't bring in my... Well, that's interesting. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to start over. Yikes. Yeah, that is not ideal. Honestly, I might use this time to redo this enchantment layout that I had, because it's not great. Yes. Woo! Finally. I got Prospector. I've been re-rolling for... It's actually probably been like 25 minutes. I've just been re-rolling enchantments, so heck yeah, finally got Prospector. Hopefully that'll make this a little bit better. So I'm still going to use Thorns, and I think I'm going to be using Burning as well, because ideally I'd probably have another Thorns. Prospector is going to help a lot. I think this will be my new loadout, so hopefully this does pretty good. So these will activate when I have Final Shout. So I'm going to go back into Soggy Swamp. Okay, I've gone back to the boss, so I'm switching back. Okay, now I'm just gonna stand like right here and call it a day. I'll sit here for about 30 minutes and I'll see what I get. Okay, so I've been AFKing here for about 30 minutes. So this is what I've gotten so far. It's been about, it looks like I've gained, let's see, I started like 1,300. So I'm just shy of like 2,000-ish emeralds, which means it'd be about 4,000 emeralds an hour, which actually isn't that good. I don't know what I could do better. I think one thing that I could do better is, honestly, Burning is not where it's at. I think another Thorns would be good. So I don't really know what I could do better. I'm interested. If you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. I think one thing that would be good is obviously that daily trial that I was talking about. That thing would be huge, because just playing it normally I was getting tons of emeralds, and then if I had this, I think that would go quite well. Okay, so overall I'm at like 3,300 right now. So yeah, basically like 2,000 emeralds exactly. Not great. For an hour that'd be like 4,000 emeralds, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Okay, well, sadly, that's all the time that I have today. Honestly, I don't know if that was the most effective emerald farming strategy. I don't think it was bad, but it obviously wasn't like the insane rates that you probably could get. But I am curious. Let me know down in the comments below what you think would do better, what you think would help this build, because I'm curious, and maybe in the future I'll try it again. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new, I appreciate it if you subscribed. If you like them, like the video. New videos every Thursday, and remember to stay jolly.